commentary explode. Supa Dave, jester of truths. In a world of lies, he's got the proof. In a world of clowns, he wears the crown. Climbing high in his digital sky, MILTOWN'S best, his battle cry. MILTOWN'S best, his battle cry. Recovering addict, but he's no saint. Extending a hand with no restraint. Artistic pride with a smirk so bold. Playing raid shadow legends while his stories are told. From the jaws of addiction he emerged. From under the bridge, making other men splurge. Making other men splurge. Supa Dave, jester of truths. In a world of lies, he's got the proof. In a world of clowns, he wears the crown. Climbing high in his digital sky, MILTOWN'S best, his battle cry. MILTOWN'S best, his battle cry. The legend of Supa Dave shall never die. The legend of Supa Dave shall never die. Light is out for Supa Dave, he's our guy. He's our guy. Cause MILTOWN'S best, his battle cry.
I'm here, guys. Relax, I'm here. I apologize for the lateness. As many of you have guessed, I got caught at Burger King. But for those of you who don't know, my name is Supa Dave. And this is MILTOWN'S Best. I apologize from the bottom of my heart, everybody. I was supposed to go live at noon, and that was my intention. There's construction going on in my area, and I have been having a hard time getting packages. And that sucks when you've ordered lots of packages from Vistaprint. I'm kind of gung-ho on these swag bags I've been talking about. And these swag bags have been so challenging, so much fun, and a way for me to give back to my viewers. But they're useless when I can't get them. So I had to go on an adventure today to track down packages. But that's okay, though, because now we have MILTOWN'S Best koozies. We have MILTOWN'S Best pens. We have MILTOWN'S Best LED keychains. We have MILTOWN'S Best 3-inch badges. We have MILTOWN'S Best everything. And I'm excited. I'm excited to give this stuff away. None of it's for sale. It's strictly to be given away to all of you guys, the ones who have supported me and have stuck by my side. And I'm excited for what the future holds. Now, I have to let it be known that, yes, while I was out and about, I did not get a chance to change my time. So there have been a bunch of you guys just chilling in my chat, worrying about me. I got probably, let me count here. Oh, shit. I just spilled my soda pop. Today is not my day, I tell you. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 5. 5 emails I got from you guys, just checking in to make sure I was okay. And that meant the world to me. But you know, sometimes you gotta stop off at Burger King. You guys all know how I love my Burger King. I love it. It's my new thing. I'm strongly petitioning the corporate folks at Burger King to sponsor me. For those of you who don't know, I am working hard for a Burger King sponsorship. So I think you guys should all write to Burger King and say, you guys should sponsor Supa Dave. Give him free Whoppers and give him free everything. Help me really become a big YouTuber. And by big, I mean size-wise. I mean, like Only Me says, all I have to do is drink Diet Coke. If I have a Diet Coke with my meal, it'll just wipe out the 900 calories from the Whoppers, right? Oh, man. But let's see who's in the chat here, guys. This is the first time I've ever done a stream without having it all prepped out. So we're in for a ride here, guys. We're in for a ride. John Cook is here. Helen is here. Mother of Birds is here. A lot of faces here. It just turns out I had to stream later in the day to get you guys all to come into. Lisa in a pod. Lisa is here. All the onion rings. Now here, Lisa brings up the onion rings from Burger King. And I just have to say, are we pro zesty sauce people? Do we like the zesty sauce? Do we hate the zesty sauce? I, for one, am pro zesty sauce with my onion rings. It's a horseradishy type sauce, and you got to have it. Uh, Beard Fisherman is here. Woodworking DIY and review videos. Seems like a good channel. I'm going to have to check out that channel at some point, but they're in the chat. Pebs is here. Pebs is the one who alerted me to people being in my chat like, hey, bro, are you streaming or not? Oki Mima is here. Hey, Oki Mima. George is here. Only Me. And Only Me said the best YouTuber song, in my opinion. And I don't want to seem biased, but I agree. I will never forget the time I was live streaming, and one of my viewers made that song for me. Parking Tigers. This man has a history on YouTube. He has a history with so many people. And me and Parking Tigers didn't start off friendly, but over time he got to know me, and he made that song for me, and I am so glad he did. And I can't picture a Milltown's Best stream without that starting it. I've tried other songs, but they just don't have the same. They don't hit the same. What do we got here? Preceding sauce is spicier the better. Oof, I'm not a spicy guy. Road King says Whopper from BK, chocolate frosty from Wendy's, and fries from McDonald's. That is a pretty picture perfect meal. I have to agree. I like the fries from McDonald's better. I do. I have to agree with that. To Lee's, please ignore the email. So yeah, like I said, guys, today's stream, we're going completely off the cuff. So we're gonna have a couple things that I wanted to talk about that I might still talk about. I wanted to talk about AI some more. A lot of people have been bringing up jurisdiction, especially that Shizzy Whizballs guy, and that makes me, I got to bring this up here, guys. Let me pull this up here. So you guys know I've been very active lately on my YouTube community page. They don't even call it the community page anymore. They call it a posts page. And I have been very active on my post page to the point where I did an open letter, right? And I said, look, Shizzy Whizballs, I can do it too. And I have it queued up right here. And I said, look, Shizzy Whizballs, I can do it too. Let me zoom it up nice and big for you guys. You should be able to read that now, I hope. I said, look, I can do it too. And I wrote this whole open letter to who I believe is a person who is harassing me and making my life hard. Mr. Jeremy Hales. I feel that I am a victim of his. I really do. And I wrote from my heart. And I wrote this open letter, and it's on my community page right now. And I said everything that I wanted to say, and I let it all out in the world, and to the tone of 78 people as of right now. 78 of you guys have liked this, and 24 people left comments. Now, I have to talk about the haters. One of these haters left a comment that I did not approve. But the hater said something along the lines of, you cannot come up with original content to save your life. You steal other people's content, and so on and so forth. Get a real job, blase whoop. They don't know nothing. These people just regurgitate what they hear from Mr. Hales and company. And I would just like it to be known that an open letter is not an original thing. And let's be even more niche about it. Who introduced open letters to this whole situation? Why, it was Bruce Matskin, of course, with his original open letter to the DUI guy. So if you want to be precise about who's stealing what shtick from who, Shizzy stole that from Bruce Matskin. That's a fact. Because he thought it was so witty. He thought he would be so witty and copy Bruce and write his own open letter. So then me, being a smartass, thought I'll copy the copier. And I wrote my own open letter. But the difference is mine wasn't for LOLs. My open letter was from the bottom of my heart, therapeutic in so many aspects that you guys probably don't even know. I had to write that for myself. I had to write that and put that into the world as something I needed to do. Not for views, not for clicks. I could have wrote that and just put it in my notebook and locked it tight, just knowing I had wrote it could have been enough. But being brave enough and strong enough to post that out in the open, well, that's what sealed the deal for me. As you guys also know, today we are going to be giving out 2 8x10s. There has been 19 submissions. If you guys want to submit last chance, go to this post here on my and just type in hashtag we are the good guys. We are going to be pulling a random number from this because I tried using like a YouTube comment generator for all of this. I tried using one, but it only works for YouTube videos, not YouTube community posts. So there are 19 posts here. 2 of those are mine. So I will just pull a random number, and whatever post that number corresponds to, you will be getting some 8x10s. These 8x10s are high class glossy prints. I got them right here. And they are bagged and boarded. Pretty high quality shit. I really wanted the quality to shine on these. I didn't want it to be some cheap homemade thing. And so I'll be giving those out at some point in this stream. And once the winner is chosen, there will be a link you can go to and submit your address, and we'll get those out in the mail to you right off the bat. I see Bearded Fisherman says, I'll write you a heavy metal. How about a death metal song for your intro? Bearded, I think that would scare quite a few people away. I'm trying to bring people into the channel. I don't want people to run and hide. I see Woodworking says, Dave, Frosted Flakes or Apple Jacks? Oof. Oof. To be honest with you, I got both of those on top of in my cereal cupboard right now. But Apple Jacks. I'm more of an Apple Jacks guy, I would guess. I like some Apple Jacks. Yeah, definitely Apple Jacks. And I would also like to talk about Shizzy Wisnut, guys. I don't know if I've made mention of this before. Shizzy Wisnut wrote an open letter to Leslie of legallyleslie.com and Leslie's YouTube channels. And, he quoted everything from jurisdiction to Florida Statute 770.01, which I should be able to pull up real quick. Let me just pull this up real quick. One second, guys. See, this is, I said, we're in for a ride here today, guys. We're just going by the seam of my pants here. So, Florida Statute 770.01 is notice, condition, precedent to action, prosecution for libel or slander. Before any civil action is brought for publication or broadcast in a newspaper, periodical, or other medium of libel or slander, the plaintiff shall, at least 5 days before instigating such action, serve notice in writing on the defendant, specifying the article or broadcast and the statements therein which he or she alleges to be false or defamatory. So that is Statute 770.01, which Shizzy Whizballs quoted. And I have been quoting this statute for months, saying this is the main reason, in my eyes, that Jeremy's claims against me don't hold any weight, because I never received notice via writing of any action to take legal action against me or any statements that I had made. But for some reason, Mr. Whizballs says he can have Leslie's action dismissed because of that, but I can't have Jeremy's action dismissed because of that. Do you guys make sense of that for a simpleton like myself? I also have been quoting jurisdiction as of late, which started this whole Burger King thing because I quote several case law, but one of the case laws I quoted was the Burger King case in Florida. And that led Jeremy, fat guy mentions Burger King, ha ha ha. And I'm like, ha ha ha, I love Burger King. I'm gonna get a sponsorship from Burger King out of all this. Watch. If not, I'm gonna become the #1 Burger King fan in the world. Watch. And jurisdiction is very serious, guys. It's pivotal in a lot of aspects, you know. And Shizzy Wiznut thinks that there is no jurisdiction in Florida, and maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know what I'm not studying his case. He's got to worry about his own case, like I have to worry about my case. But I do know that it appears that Judge Belitho is not paying and scrutinizing jurisdiction as much as he should be. And we're going to discuss that. For those of you guys who don't know what jurisdiction is, let's see if we can we're going to ask ChatGPT, guys. What is jurisdiction? I'm going to see if ChatGPT can help me with this. I had this all hooked up earlier, but let's see if it'll work. What is jurisdiction? I'll just type it. Now it's going to make me log in. Hold on, guys. I told you I should have been ready. I should have been prepared. Give me a second, guys, because I'm not reading it. I'm too lazy for all that. I got a stomach full of Burger King. Didn't you guys all know? Okay, here we go.
Jurisdiction is a legal authority or power of a court or other official body to make decisions and judgments in a particular case. It determines which court can hear a case, where a case can be filed, and what kinds of cases a court is allowed to decide. There are several types of jurisdiction. 1. Subject matter jurisdiction refers to the court's power to hear a certain kind of case. Example, bankruptcy court can only hear bankruptcy cases. Federal courts can hear cases involving federal law or disputes between people from different states, diversity jurisdiction.
Oops.
2.
I told you it's going to be a wild one, guys.
Refers to the court's power over the people involved in the case. A court must have authority over the defendant, usually because they live in, do business in, or have enough contact with the state. 3. Territorial or geographic jurisdiction refers to the location where the court has authority. For example, a Florida state court generally has jurisdiction over matters that happened in Florida. 4. Federal versus state jurisdiction. Federal courts can hear cases involving federal laws, constitutional issues, or parties from different states if the amount at stake is over $75,000. State courts handle most everyday legal disputes like contracts, family law, and state crimes. 5. Exclusive versus concurrent jurisdiction. Exclusive jurisdiction means only one court can hear the case, e.g. federal patent claims. Concurrent jurisdiction means more than one court system, federal or state, could potentially hear the case. Quick example. If someone in Wisconsin sues someone in Florida for defamation based on YouTube videos, the court must ask. Subject matter. Is this a state or federal issue? Personal. Did the person in Florida have enough contact with Wisconsin to justify being sued there? Territorial. Is Wisconsin the right place for the case to be heard? Let me know if you want a breakdown of how jurisdiction affects online content creators. It's especially important in your situation.
As you guys can tell, I have talked with ChatGPT in the past about my situation. And yeah, so I'm not the only one who has discussed jurisdiction with ChatGPT or AI for that matter. It appears that every single order that Judge Belitho has been processed through AI. And for example, here, this is a write up that says, did the court properly scrutinize federal jurisdiction? A closer look at orders 103 in the Hales versus Preston case. Now, this is federal one case. It says, in order 103, U.S. Magistrate Zachary Bolitho denied the defendant's renewed Rule 12b1 motion challenging federal diversity jurisdiction in the defamation case brought by Jeremy Hales. The ruling reaffirmed that jurisdiction must be evaluated based on facts at the time of filing, and that post-filing developments, such as the dismissal of certain claims, do not defeat jurisdiction. But a deeper question remains. Did the judge sufficiently scrutinize whether the original allegations supporting federal jurisdiction were legitimate or merely flimsy and contrived? The missing analysis of flimsy grounds. The defendants had argued that the plaintiff Hales invoked federal jurisdiction in bad faith. Specifically, they alleged the extortion claims were facially based on and added only to inflate potential damages above $75,000. The plaintiff's affidavit falsely claimed ongoing online defamation, and there was no real evidence of economic harm or customer interference at the time of filing. These assertions, if substantiated, could have triggered the principle laid out in St. Paul Mercury Indemnity Company versus Red Cab Company, and it was further clarified in Shanahan Shanagan names, guys. Reading not my strong suit. Versus Cahill. Courts must dismiss cases where the jurisdictional amount was claimed in bad faith or rests on insubstantial grounds. But Judge Bolitho did not conduct the granular analysis of whether the allegations were contrived. Instead, the court issued a single sweeping conclusion. The court does not find that the plaintiff acted in bad faith in asserting at the time of filing that the amount in controversy exceeded $75,000. And that's again from Order 103, page 3. This lone sentence served as the court's complete response to the extensive factual challenges raised in defendant's briefing, docs 68 and 87. Nowhere in the order does dissect paragraph 19 of the affidavit, evaluate the credibility of the whatnot email exchange, or discuss the evidentiary dispute over whether the plaintiff's claims were ongoing. The duty to scrutinize jurisdiction, was it met? Federal courts are bound by their constitutional role to ensure that they do not overstep jurisdictional limits. This indicates an affirmative obligation to rigorously evaluate jurisdiction when challenged. And I urge everybody, that should be where you should start with every case, is their jurisdiction. Federal courts are obligated to inquire into subject matter jurisdiction sua sponte whenever it may be lacking. And there's the case law that cites that. If the jurisdictional amount is challenged, the court must determine whether the plaintiff has satisfied the amount in controversy requirement by a preponderance of the evidence. That's McNutt versus General Motors. The 11th Circuit Court has similarly stated that Perketica versus Coulter City Plaza, the courts must look beyond the pleadings when the jurisdictional basis is called into question, with credible, specific rebuttal. But Judge Bolitho's analysis was largely legalistic and procedural. He reiterated settled law that jurisdiction is fixed in filing. He's citing controlling cases to reject post-filing attacks. Yet he did not require any evidentiary showing from the plaintiff to justify the original claims, and did not resolve credibility disputes central to lead the bad faith argument. For example, the plaintiff conceded that in a later filing, Doc 87, that no evidence of damages existed yet, pending expert review. He also offered no contemporaneous third-party confirmation of business loss or reputational harm. Under McNutt and Shanahagan, or whatever, we're going to say that's what it is, this would typically warrant deeper scrutiny or evidentiary hearings, particularly when the complaint appears to be tailored to just barely cross the jurisdictional threshold. Conclusion: a missed opportunity for jurisdictional integrity. Order 103 reaffirmed the general principle that the post filing changes do not devise federal courts of jurisdiction, and it currently applied black letter law in that regard. But when it came to scrutinizing whether federal jurisdiction existed in the first place, the court's approach was perfunctory and not probing. It bypassed detailed factual inquiry into whether the $75,000 threshold was genuinely met or artificially constructed, despite serious and specific challenges raised by the defendants. In sum, the court applied the correct legal standard in theory. It did not apply the necessary factual scrutiny in practice. If the case proceeds or it is appealed, the question of whether flimsy, speculative, or knowingly false allegations were used to invoke federal jurisdiction may resurface, this time with sharper focus on the potential consequences. Here we go, guys. Under Rule 11 or summary judgment standards. So that was just one analysis of everything here, guys. And it's funny, the more and more cases you put, or the more and more of these writings of Judge Belethel you put through AI analysis and ask for a non-biased take on everything, they keep coming back with, he did this right, but there's all this that was done wrong. And it just shows to me that what we're dealing with here is a young magistrate judge who is overlooking a lot. That is personally why I think in federal case 2, it's going to be, in my opinion, I don't want a magistrate judge overlooking it. More specifically, I would argue that I don't want Judge Belethel coming anywhere near my case. But that's just my problem with it. I think a lot of us who are now defendants in a case here are seeing problems. The more and more we scrutinize previous past orders from Judge Belethel, the more and more gaping holes we are finding. There's just so many. I can do a whole nother one here for you guys. But it just goes to show that these people, you know, these propagandists, I'll call them, they are pro Belethel when he makes a call that favors Jeremy. They are anti Belethel when he makes something that is against him. But nobody is going down the middle here and saying, give me a non-biased analysis of these decisions. That is what law is. It's a non-biased analysis. And I feel like that's what I got to do. I feel that I'm not the only one here who feels that way. Most of these people that you view or that they view as anti-Hales really are just people who want an unbiased view. Because in my opinion, if you get an unbiased view, you're gonna see that Jeremy's in the wrong. Dave said probe. I did. I did say probe. So I personally feel no matter what comes of this case, there is a grounds for appeal on jurisdictional grounds alone. I feel there is grounds in federal case 2 for jurisdiction. I feel they don't meet jurisdictional grounds as far as I am concerned, or as far as Ray Bonecrusher is concerned. I think Lisa might even have some problems because, let's face it, Jeremy is not a Florida resident. He is a resident of Ohio. His businesses are registered in Ohio. Hang Your Hat Homes may have a branch registered in Ohio, but we're not bringing that into anything. We're strictly talking about commentary on YouTube. And as far as the Lanham Act goes, there are exceptions to the Lanham Act that deal in commentary and criticism. Just so you know that. I mean, if you do any research whatsoever, you will discover all this stuff. Bruce Matskett just said it. He said he disposed of the 12B1 motion to clear his way to keep this case on his docket. This case could be off his docket for everything that I've seen so far. You know, of course, this is all my opinion, but I seriously think there's some serious grounds for this to all be thrown out. Um, how do we change that though, Dave? How do you change what? I think a lot of it's going to have to be done pending what happens with this whole next motion of summary judgment, or if we have to wait till after the case is decided, and if it is not in their favor, then you have to do appeals. You know, you can never underestimate the power of appeal. Oh no, the gaping holes. So you noticed that too, Dave. Yeah, I just I'm so amazed by so many different aspects of this, you know, and I find it fascinating that I will raise a point weeks prior and I will be laughed at and called stupid, right? They will call me retarded. They will call me every name under the book for my points, right? But when it comes to them and they end up in a lawsuit, their first thing is to bring up all the points that I brought up. It's silly. Tiny Tim says you're spot on, Dave. Um I got some other stuff I want to show you guys too. Let me see if I can pull this up here though. Oh, I mean, that's a long read. I wonder if I can pull up my readers for this. I got the full federal. I got a bunch of stuff here. Hold on. You guys want an analysis of Mr. Randy Shocket's Florida bar admission and prior court findings? Let's see what that has. This is interesting. Let me see if I can get my reader on this. It's not working. Arrgh. So, anyways, guys, I guess I'm reading some more, guys. So this, guys, is an analysis of Randall Shocket's Florida bar admission and prior court findings. This memorandum addresses two key questions regarding Randall Shocket's 2005 admission to the Florida bar. In light of two appellate decisions from the Arkansas and Missouri, these decisions in Shocket v. Arkansas Board of Law Examiners 1998 and Shocket v. Allen in 1999 involve findings related to his professional conduct, including admitted insurance fraud, perjury, and misleading disclosures during prior bar and licensing applications. The analysis evaluates the likelihood that Mr. Shocket was truthful on his Florida bar application and whether the Florida Board of Bar Examiners was likely aware of these prior decisions. Number one, the likelihood of the truthfulness on the bar application. Based on the content of the 1998 Arkansas Supreme Court opinion, Mr. Shocket demonstrated repeated instances of dishonesty and evasive behavior when responding to character and fitness questions. He failed to disclose prior misconduct, including insurance fraud and practicing dentistry during a suspended license period. Moreover, he offered shifting explanations, blaming his omissions on legal counsel or misunderstanding of the application language. The Arkansas board found his explanations lacking in credibility and determined that he failed to accept responsibility for previously admitted misconduct. The Missouri case further supports a pattern of questionable conduct and poor professional judgment. Given the short interval between these decisions and his 2005 Florida bar admission, the probability that Mr. Shocket was fully candid in his Florida application is low. Without concrete evidence of a marked change in character, his prior patterns suggest a continued risk of concealment or strategic omission of adverse facts. Number two, the likelihood of the Florida Board awareness of prior court decisions. The Florida Board of Bar Examiners generally relies on the applicant disclosures, national background checks, and third party reporting. In 2005, digital indexing and state level case background checks and third party reporting in 2005, my bad, sharing mechanisms were not as comprehensive as they are today. Unless Mr. Shochet disclosed the Arkansas and Missouri cases himself, it is unlikely they would have been uncovered through routine screening. Neither Arkansas nor Missouri findings were tied to criminal convictions, and unless flagged via references, character witnesses, or supplemental inquiries, the Florida board may have remained unaware of these court decisions. While the board has discretion and conduct in-depth reviews, its process are not infallible, especially when based on incomplete or misleading applications. Therefore, unless prompted by external sources or disclosures, the likelihood that the Board of Bar Examiners were aware that these prior decisions is moderate to low. Conclusion: the cumulative weight of the Arkansas Missouri rulings paints a portrait of an applicant who struggled with truthfulness, responsibility, and candor, core prerequisites for bar admission. It is unlikely that Randall Shochet voluntarily disclosed these details in the Florida Board of Bar Examiners in 2005. It is equally uncertain whether the board independently identified these rulings in absence of disclosure. The findings raise serious concerns about the integrity of the bar admission process and warrant further scrutiny if new evidence or complaints are brought forward. Well, I know for a fact Bruce Matskin brought forth a complaint to the Florida bar. And like I said, this is a computer, unbiased, just telling it like it is with no bias. And it doesn't paint Mr. Shochet to be the all-knowing lawyer that he is made out to be by the propagandists. You know? What are your guys' thoughts on that? Honestly, do I think he made mention of this to the Florida bar? I'm going to be the good guy here. I will say I hope he did. I would hope he would say, "Yeah, you know what? In my past, I did some shady shit, but I've learned. I'm coming down to Florida to start fresh. Um, you catch more bees with honey than vinegar." And I hope he didn't go with the "I'm going to ask for forgiveness instead of permission" route. I hope he did report all this to the Florida bar. And I'm going to give Randall Shochet the benefit of the doubt, even though he has proven in every aspect to be a scummy, loathsome lawyer by every definition. I'm going to still give him the benefit of the doubt and say, I hope he did. I hope he did. Only me says, I wonder if Shizzy Ballbag is busy getting his wife to seal his court records. I don't know. I see, that's the thing about this Shizzy guy is he cares about this anonymity. Really cares about it. Is that because he knows he's done some people very wrong? I don't know. I do know that Bruce Matskin is offering a reward or something like that, a bounty or something. I don't know. I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm not talk to Bruce. I don't know. I don't want nothing to do with that. But I do know that once private investigators are on it, it's pretty much a done deal, especially when you post your PO box out in the open. That's something. Bruce says, Ed, we did discovery. They refused to disclose. And that's how do you refuse to disclose, Bruce, but then put in orders to compel on Lynette or Michelle and John? How come they can refuse to disclose, but then they want to compel John and Michelle? I don't get that. I do like how everybody has names for this Shizzy guy. I've seen Shizzy Ballbag. I've seen Scuzzy Numbnuts. I call him Shizzy Whizballs. I mean, everybody's got different names for this guy. And everybody's got a story about him, but nobody's got his real name. And, I do not support doxing. I have to let this be 100% known. I don't support doxing, whether it's by the federal docket or not. When you are dealing with media figures, doxing is not cool. I understand that information is needed, especially when you're dealing with court cases, which I want to talk about the new copyright lawsuit that's going on YouTube briefly, guys, because it's crazy. The whole situation with Ethan Klein. You guys have heard me talk about Ethan Klein on this channel so many times. He has championed fair use. He has oh wow. 5 Milltown's Best memberships gifted from Stacy. Thank you so much, Stacy. That's a blessing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. Um, and I think this copyright suit that Ethan Klein just put forth. If you guys heard, have any of you guys heard about the copyright lawsuit that Ethan Klein put forth in federal courts? If you have heard of this lawsuit, press 1 in chat. So just so I know how many people have heard about this. So many awesome people getting memberships in chat. That's so awesome to see. Let's see here. It doesn't seem like many of you guys have heard about this. Okay, Helen heard about it. Bearded has not heard about it. So basically, let's start. Ethan Klein is a YouTuber, and Ethan Klein has fought for fair use. He does a podcast called the H3 Podcast where they react to YouTube videos. They talk about YouTubers. It's very much like my show. I look up to Ethan Klein in a lot of ways, and you know, especially his broadcasting style. I really look up to his broadcasting style and how he has his studio set up. I look to him as a role model in a lot of aspects.
You're awesome.
Oh wow,
Hashtag we are the good guys.
that is a $4.99 super chat from Tiny Tim. We are the good guys indeed, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I look up to him a lot. And Ethan Klein has been under attack, much like I've been under attack, much like Lisa has been under attack, and Leslie. Only difference is Ethan filed a lawsuit. And I hear he is in his own video. This is a 20-minute video. So we're not going to watch all of it because, you know, I'm going to do a fair use watching of this. But what these creators, oh, wow. Only me. Thank you so much, Only Me. Thank you so much. That is a 50 gifted. 50 gifted from Only Me. That's crazy. Thank you so much, Only Me. This is gonna be blinging for a little bit, guys, but let's go to Ethan Klein. And he's going to tell you why he sued these creators for copyright infringement. And he's going to tell you very well the difference between what is fair use and what is copyright infringement. Now, you guys got to remember, Jeremy Hales has accused me of being a copyright thief, to steal his intellectual property, even though what I have done with any of Jeremy Hales' footage was considered under fair use doctrine. Fair use. Oh wow, that is a $4.99 super chat from Mother of Birds. Where's my BK? You never know. I might end up putting some Burger King gift cards in these Milltown's Best swag bags. I think that's a good idea. Watch out for your swag bag, guys. You might just be getting some Burger King gift cards in there. Even if it's for a free frozen Coke or a free onion ring or something, it'll still be a little joke. But let's go to Ethan Klein talking about why he's suing these creators, guys.
Hi there. My name is Ethan Klein, and my favorite hobby is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on lawyers. Today, I invite you into my home.
I know, Ethan, I know another YouTuber by the name of Jeremy Hills who loves spending hundreds of $1,000s. And devoting generational wealth towards his lawyer.
To share my favorite pastime with you. Join me in creating generational wealth for my attorney. Let me tell you guys a story. About a year and a half ago, It's a big conversation called ReactGate. ReactGate was a debate going on in the streaming community about what constituted fair use. People like Hassan, XQC, and many of the large Twitch streamers would watch other creators' entire video on their stream. They would rarely add sufficient commentary or even pause the video to speak.
Now, I want to make it be abundantly clear. Jeremy calls me a content thief, even though I've never once rebroadcast any of his videos in entirety. I've never showed a whole WTH video in its entirety. I have always stopped multiple times and showed brief clips and provided commentary and critique. Fair use. Just make sure you guys understand the difference between copyright infringement and fair use. They're two different things.
Most egregiously, they would re-upload the entire VOD to YouTube with the same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original video. Here's what Lamino had to say about this phenomenon.
I don't mind people reacting to my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video. A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work, or
I agree.
the bare minimum and ask for permission. Something that none of the major reaction channels have ever done when they've.
And I agree here. You could ask for permission. A lot of people don't because they rely on the fair use doctrine where you don't have to ask permission. But I do admit, if you're going to play the entirety of somebody's video, you should at least ask for permission. Carrie says, you should stop periodically for commentary. And that's what Ethan is going at. Yes. These people played it through leaving their chair the whole time. Exactly, Carrie. And I'm going to get to that point to really show why he filed this lawsuit against three small Twitchers. They're Twitch creators, not YouTubers, really. They do have YouTube channels, but they're more predominant.
You're awesome.
My BK.
streamed or re-uploaded my videos. But to answer your question, no, I don't want people to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
Now, understandably, this made a lot of people angry because why should these content thieves, essentially, get more views than the author of the video, which in a lot of cases was happening? I mean, people don't.
And as it relates to me, I have never played one of that man's whole videos, him being Jeremy Hales. I've never used the same thumbnail, never used the same title, never cannibalized his viewership. I've only provided critical commentary and critique. So yeah, everything that the fair use boxes are ticked as far as I'm concerned with my instance with Jeremy Hales. You're going to see these creators did not do that with Ethan Klein. They were out to hurt Ethan Klein. If there was a conspiracy against Ethan Klein, he proves it with this video.
Don't like injustice, and we all see this, and no, it's not right. This debate culminated when XQC, one of the prime suspects, called into my show to debate me, in which case I'm sad to report that I was terribly owned. So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright? Or like the fact that it's illegal? Does that matter? That it might be illegal, does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it flat out doesn't, because...
But that's fair.
Watch me full screen cam, do the fucking worm, and watch your
Do
prime...
that.
And watch
Bro,
your prime content.
do it for a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get. Oh, okay, sure. I mean, that's content, man. It's original content.
It is original.
The ultimate debate, bro. He hit him with the worm. Oh, why didn't I think of that first? I kid XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a malicious infringer. But the ones I am suing, you'll see, are much, much worse. Now, ironically, after this debate and in the wake of this large conversation, the problem seems to have only gotten worse. You have people like Hassan Piker paving the way of fair use with what's known as chair reacts, when Hassan gets up to go to the bathroom.
This is ridiculous. This, to me, proves copyright infringement when you are not there to provide commentary,
to eat or to talk to his mom or to do whatever, disappears for an extended period of time and leaves the video playing for his chair. Mr. Chair, they call it.
IDF had warned people to leave the area around the main airport in Sana. Then this.
Wow. Over 1 month of streams. This is how many times he left, leaving other people's content playing for his audience.
And it was in this setting that I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long-form, irresistible piece of content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist, they couldn't avoid the temptation of watching it the second it was published?
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video, add little to no commentary, react to it instantly, giving them no time to form an opinion. The trap was set, and it worked even better than I imagined it would. We captured pretty much every large streamer reacting to it in its entirety immediately after it was published. Now the thing is, there were a few people that went above and beyond to commit copyright infringement. For example,
Now we're getting into the people who he is suing. And he being Ethan Klein, had very strict guidelines. You don't just file a frivolous lawsuit unless if you're another YouTuber I know. But this Ethan Klein did not want to file a frivolous lawsuit. So he had very strict criteria to assure a victory in a copyright infringement case. And these three creators met the criteria. And we're going to watch a few more minutes of this, but then I'm going to send you guys after my stream to watch the rest of this. And I wanted just to ensure you guys, or kind of show you guys, how there is a difference between fair use and copyright infringement. And in all of my instances, I have only ever done fair use reaction, fair use critique. And I should not be called a theft.
You're awesome!
Love you, Dave. Hashtag we are the good guys.
Thank you so much, Pebs. That's a $5 super chat from Pebs. I love you too. I should not be being called a thief from Jeremy Hales. In my eyes, that is defamation for him to call me a thief. Because as far as anybody who understands fair use goes, I've only ever provided fair use content. These are thieves. The ones who Ethan Klein is suing here, these are content thieves. And this is why they are content thieves, in my opinion.
Venom sits here silently with nearly 50,000 live viewers. That's 30 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon views, and their intentions couldn't be clearer. Here's an excerpt from a stickied post from the Snark subreddit. Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. Here's a list of creators who've supported our sub, either by engaging with us directly or citing our post in their critique of H3. Here they're offering these streamers as market substitutes for my work. This is the cardinal sin of copyright infringement. The Snark subreddit has been a frequent
Exactly,
and
Carrie, I
persistent
agree.
infringer.
Carrie just said in chat, Ethan is carefully exposing the wrongdoers because Ethan himself is a part of the commentary community. He is trying to clearly show what is fair use and what is a content thief. And that is the perfect synopsis of this video. And he does it in such a perfect way. And he shows the malicious nature. You know, all Jeremy Hales can say to prove a conspiracy is, I went on 2 Leaves in a Pod. That's his reasoning why I'm in a conspiracy. You want to see a real conspiracy, Jeremy Hales? Look at what's going on Reddit with Ethan Klein and how they are siphoning views away from his channel and re-uploading his videos and reacting to them and asking for money, donations, and playing his videos in full. That's a conspiracy in my point of view, Jeremy. Not me going on Lisa and calling you an asshole.
That's how I knew when this video came out, the Snarkers were going to encourage, promote, and push streamers to commit copyright infringement. I should thank the Snarkers, actually, Because of their predictability, they acted like double agents for us, incriminating their favorite streamers and serving them up on a golden platter. So, thank you, Snark. It's one thing for a subreddit to admit it's engaging in copyright infringement, but how do you get the streamers themselves to admit that they're stealing content?
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here.
It turns out they just do it for you. You couldn't cook up a more incriminating statement if you tried. Denim's the queen of self-owning. You prevail again. There's one thing about copyright you should know is that you got to register it before you publish.
Another reason why I should not be called a thief by Jeremy Hales, because none of his work is recognized with the Library of Congress. He never registered a single frame of his footage, so he could not sue me if he wanted to for any damages. Listen to what Ethan says about this.
To be eligible for statutory damages and attorney's fees, which is the main biting force of a copyright infringement lawsuit. Well, I'm happy to tell you guys now, I, Ethan Klein, have registered Hassan Piker Content Nuke with the United States Library of Congress. Some of you guys out there sweating? Even though theoretically I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars, but the purpose of this is not financial gain. People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them just for doing that. I don't want to chill the reaction community into fear. Actually, the opposite. I hope that we can all unite against this type of egregious behavior that not only makes us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community as we know it.
And I agree. And that is where I'm going to stop watching this video. If you guys want to watch the rest of this, it's called I'm Suing These Creators, and it is on the H3H3 Productions website. And I am strongly on Ethan Klein's side with this lawsuit. I agree. There is a big difference between fair use and copyright infringement. And I try to adhere fully to the fair use doctrine that was basically set in an Ethan Klein court case, which was the 2017 case of Haas v. Klein. Ethan was being sued for the same thing Jeremy said about me and calling me a thief. Matt Haas said about Ethan in 2017. And $30,000 later, Ethan prevailed and set precedents for fair use on YouTube. And now he's going to set precedents as far as what constitutes copyright infringement on Twitch and YouTube. And I would encourage Jeremy Hales to learn some stuff. You call yourself a content creator, Jeremy. Learn some history. You are now getting more and more into the commentary part of YouTube as you are breaking away from your storage auction nonsense, whatever it was. You're slowly breaking away from that. I see your tech team just learned how to use computerized graphics on a stream. Way to go. Maybe learn some history about court and fair use and all of that next. Then you'll be on your way to being a real commentary creator. Then you might have to adopt your views on things, because I recently learned that you say you don't roll that way when it comes to doxing. But I can recall a time when you posted emails, phone numbers, addresses. More specifically, you had the balls to block out a public figure, an elected official's email address. You had the balls to blur that out of a document that you showed on your video, but you left Miss Preston's email out to encourage harassment. I can recall that today. I still have the graphics in my saved file. You purposely blurred a public official's email address, but left Miss Preston's. But you don't dox? Maybe you don't dox anymore since you learned how much the commentary community and how much the YouTube community as a whole despises and hates doxers. Just a thought. Just a thought. But guys, I've been going now for just over an hour. I do want to do this giveaway, so we will get to that. But I want to talk with you, the chat, a little bit. What do you guys think about the Ethan Klein lawsuit? And I wonder, do you guys see the difference between what is fair use and what is copyright infringement? I just want to make sure, see if I made that clear enough for you guys. Do you guys understand the difference now? Marla says he posted my friend's neighbor's private information. They hadn't even heard of him at the time. It was retribution against me for supporting. I remember that stream. I've also seen him post people's house values. I've seen him do all types of stuff. So yeah, but he doesn't dox. Okay. Stacy says, Marla, right. And I feel he does it more because it brings in views to his channel. Look what he did last week with the Witch Dave. Yeah, and that's gonna all be part of my rebuttal to the courts if and when it comes necessary. I am an inactive participant in this man's content. This man has made me an involuntary participant with his content. That's how I feel. I never said I want to be involved with him, never said anything of I've only ever rebutted claims he has made about me. He goes on his live stream and says, I've contacted him in regards to this lawsuit, calls me a liar. I go out and I rebut that and say, no, he is lying, and have to clear my name. And that has been how it has been this entire time. People don't see this? Seriously, you guys don't see this? I hope you guys are starting to wake up. I hope some of these warped minds who are severely under the influence of Muppetese and Kool-Aid and all this craziness, I hope they see all this nonsense. You know, I think to all the help only me has given me. And, you know, I can't thank him enough. Because he has instilled a lot of confidence in me. And between him and all of you telling me I've done nothing wrong, why be afraid of this man? It has empowered me. And I am at the point now where I am just saying it like it is. Let the chips fall where they may. You know what I'm saying, guys? In the meantime, I'm going to keep giving out these Milltown's Best swag bags because it makes me happy. So let's start out with the giveaway, guys. Let's take a look here at my YouTube channel. Let's see how many people have submitted. 1 second, guys. So it looks like we still have 19 submissions for the free 8x10s. 2 of those posts are from me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up a random number generator. Minimum 17. So it's 1 through 17. One second, let me. All right, 1 through 17. I'm going to generate a random number. The number is 5. So then let us go to here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be Ray Bone Crusher. We're going to do Ray Bone Crusher has won these. So 1 second. I'm going to do one more, guys. So we're going to give out 2 sets of 8x10s. One second, guys. So you guys can, if you win, you guys can go to that address and send me your information. So Ray Bone Crusher has won 1. And let's do another one, guys. 9. So we will start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Patty Durbin. So Patty Durbin and Ray Bone Crusher, go to tinyurl.com/supawinner and send me your information, and I'll get those mailed out to you. We're gonna be doing these a lot more from now on, guys. Not like I said, this actual swag bags. These are just 8x10s that we're doing. But this actual swag bags, they have a bunch of stuff. We're giving out koozies, Milltown's Best koozies. We got Super Studios incense. We got LED keychains. Their flashlights with the logos. I'm giving out pens. You know, all the good type of swag that you want from your favorite YouTube channel. And they're gonna be sent in custom poly mailers. And again, guys, these are what the 8x10s look like. They are bagged and boarded, signed if you want them signed. We have the Super Harley cover, which is the first issue, and then we got the Milltown's Best logo. Those will be signed and sent out to you guys in a custom poly mailer. I'll sign them if you want them signed. Just go to tinyurl.com/supawinner. And it says you can use AI to check the viewer IDs that watch Megan, Tug, Hale, Shizzy, and all the other minions. Very revealing. Yeah, very revealing. Oh, Marla says some people don't know how to enter like me. Just keep an eye, guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Milltown's Best. And Marla, I'm going to be sending you something anyways. I'm going to be sending a couple of my mod stuff out of the blue. So like Tiny Tim, expect an email from me. Marla, expect an email from me. Some of my mods will be getting stuff sent to them just out of the blue as a thank you. But otherwise, for everybody else, just keep an eye on my posts. Make sure you're subscribed and check my posts page. From there, I will be, even in a video, I will be doing giveaways in videos. And basically all I ask is that you guys are subscribed and you comment on the videos. And sometimes I'll say, make sure you comment #WeAreTheGoodGuys. Not only will that help my engagement, it'll help everything else out. And we can get you guys all decked out in sweet Milltown's Best merch. I really do like the idea of throwing in Burger King gift cards. I think that would be a pretty funny idea. Even if it's just like a $5 gift card, I'm using the noodle, guys. I'm using the noodle. So a bunch of you guys are going to be getting these swag bags. And I also said, if you guys do an unboxing video of these swag bags, I'm going to send them out to a bunch of you guys, and you'll have a chance to win them. If you guys do an unboxing video, you will be entered to win a special prize. If I see your video of an unboxing, you will be entered in to win a special prize. Now, that special prize might be something as small as a Milltown's Best coffee cup. It might be a Milltown's Best hoodie. It might be, a trip to Mexico. Probably not a trip to Mexico, but I can't afford that. But you never know what it'll be. So, like I said, when you guys get your swag bags, turn on your camera. You don't have to show your face. Just make a little video of you opening your swag bag and show everybody what you got. And I can't wait to see them. And the more videos that are out there, it'll spread the word of Milltown's Best, and it'll be fun. It's something new I'm trying to do for the channel. I really want to create a more community-driven atmosphere. I am not charging $25 for a picture like some other YouTubers out there. I am not also selling pictures, demeaning and making fun of other people. You may say that my comic book makes fun of somebody, but that's an actual germ. He's green screened out. That's an actual germ, guys. The bad guy in my comic, he's an actual germ. He's not that germ. So I don't make fun of people like that. So this is a wholesome way to try to build the community. Demon Cat says that they got their hoodie the other day. Awesome. I'm so happy. I hope you like it. I personally, honestly, if you guys are going to order, I like going through Bonfire, but Teespring is just as good. I personally, I had my problems with Bonfire, but they made everything right with me in the past. So now I have no problem telling my viewers to check out Bonfire. Um, they do a great service, and their actual goods are not cheap. So like I said, swag bags will be going out shortly. I will get as soon as I get the addresses from the two winners, Patty Durbin and Ray Bone Crusher. You guys will have them mailed out, and we'll have a lot of fun coming up here, guys. I wish I could go a little bit longer today. This was me. I was literally thrown in a blender for this stream, so I apologize. I didn't have all my cues pulled up, my links pulled up. So this was a complete on the fly stream. I hope I did all right. I really truly hope I did all right. Um but I love you guys. I will see you guys soon, hopefully. Get on my butt to stream, guys. I need you guys to want these streams for me to do them. So guys, I love you, and I will see you next time. Adios, guys.